The question that I have for you is, what is the best way to stay on track as an entrepreneur? What's up, Entrepreneur Mindset series? What is the best way to stay on track as an entrepreneur? You've probably heard this 1,000 times. As a matter of fact, I know you've heard this 1,000 times. But it stands true every single time. I want to talk about the power of visualization. Okay, we're talking about mindset, creating that winning mindset, creating that ability to stay on top of things, that tenacity to get through challenges and obstacles, right? And the grit to really put up with the stuff that we don't want to put up with sometimes. What pulls us in the direction of our dreams? Okay, that's a big question. What is the best tool that we have as human beings, period, to stay on track? That's gonna be visualization, right? Before you start planning anything, putting together any business plans, metrics, KPIs, any of that stuff, you have to have a notion of the dream that you want. You gotta have a direction of where you want to head, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be nowhere near perfect, actually. You just got to have a sense of direction of where you want to go. Now, you can't do that if you don't sit down and visualize. You can't do that if you don't paint a picture in your head of what you want, right? If you don't know what you're aiming at, you're gonna hit anything, right? And that's gonna be okay. That's actually, unfortunately, it's the direction that most people take in life. If you ask, I don't know, try this with your friends and family, right? Ask them, where do you see yourself in 3 years? If they're taking more than 30 seconds to give you a solid answer, they don't know. They're making it up as they're giving you the answer, okay? Most people don't take the time. Actually, do it for yourself right now. Ask yourself, what are my plans? Where do I see myself with 3 years from now? Ask yourself that question right now and see what you come up with. It's scary. We go through life as entrepreneurs without a sense of direction. Without the intention of actually crafting something, without the intention solidifying as to what we want, right? As entrepreneurs, as dreamers, what do we want? Most people don't take the time to sit down and really put together a vision for that. Why is it important? Why is it important to have a good, solid vision of where you want to go? And again, when I say solid, I don't mean having all the details down and the full map of what's going to happen every single step of the way. We don't know that. We can't know that. Life is dynamic. It changes every single day. We do have the power to adapt. And when you have a good vision that you can follow, you can adapt and you can pivot as you walk towards it. Now, the big thing about having this in place is that it's going to pull you to your desired outcome. Okay, call it a dream, call it a life by design, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's something that you're striving for, something that you're aiming for. All the work that you're putting into things, all the effort that you're putting into yourself as an individual. If you're listening to this channel, it's because you're putting effort into yourself. You're listening to entrepreneurship advice. You like business. You like real estate investments. You like progression, right? You like moving forward. That's why you're listening to this stuff. And all those, hours of context that you're building inside your head, the psyche that you're pumping yourself up to have, it's got to lead somewhere, right? If you don't have a good vision of what you want, it's not going to lead anywhere. So again, the power of visualization, it pulls you to your desired outcome. So plain and simple, right? If you don't have that in place, again, you're gonna walk around without any concrete direction. You're gonna walk around and then take anything that's kind of thrown in your path, right? That's how people get lost in the I saw a good opportunity and I took it, and then I spent 10 years of my life in a shitty job that I didn't like because it wasn't an opportunity. Why do people take stuff like that and they go through a decade of doing that stuff? The reason is because there's no direction behind the motions that they're taking. There's no vision behind the motions that they're taking. If you have a vision, you have a direction. And when you have a direction, you're going to be pulled as opposed to you pushing through all the efforts and then just taking everything as it comes. You're going to be pulled towards that desired outcome that you're looking for. Very important. Now, how do I see my vision? How do I understand what my vision is? How do I craft it? How can I clarify it? Right? There's a few things that I like to do when I'm visualizing, when I'm working on anything that I need to visualize. And that's number one, tune out the noise. Everything, absolutely everything, even me right now, in your space, everything in your space is noise. Okay? Everything that's not coming from within, that's not a natural thought, it's not part of your essence, your critical thinking, it's noise. Anything that you see in social media, all the highlights, all the the shiny stuff, anything that you might see on the news, all of that stuff is noise. All right, you have to tune out the noise and really come to terms with yourself. What do you want as an individual? That's number one. Tune out the noise. The noise is not going to craft that vision for you. The noise is going to give you things to be distracted about, but it's really not going to give you that clarity. Number two, sit down and journal. All right, journal, plain and simple. The best way to get your stuff from your brain to the world is journaling. Yeah, you can do apps and phones and all that stuff, but I don't know. There's something about having pen to paper that really clarifies. It takes you a little bit of time to actually put it in that paper. And as you're writing things down, you have to clarify to yourself what you're thinking, right? So there's a lot of things that happen when you're journaling. And if you don't know what to journal about, just start writing about, for example, gratitude in the mornings. Something that you're grateful for. And that's gonna lead you to another thought. And that other thought is going to lead you to another thought. And then next thing you know, you have a compilation of thoughts that really start to put together this mental image. So journal. Number three is going to be meditate. All right, take the time to meditate at night. You don't have to be a yogi. You don't have to be a yogi. When I say meditate, just sit there in silence. Okay, sit there in silence with the awareness that you're not just consuming information. You're not just taking anything that the world is throwing at you, at cost, right? You're actually sitting there and in silence, and you're taking an honest look at yourself. You're taking an honest look at what you want. You're having a critical thinking moment. Okay. The next thing is gonna be to be brave. This one is huge. Be brave. Be brave about your vision. Okay. It's easier said than done. When you start thinking, when you start to get brave about the stuff that you really want to create, about the life that you want to create, about the lives that you want to impact, about the dent that you want to leave in the world, shit can get scary, okay? It can get a little scary, it can get a little intimidating. But you know what? We got one shot at life. How are you going to use it? Are you going to sit on the sidelines? Or are you going to be brave about your vision? Are you going to be brave about leaving a dent or making a dent in the universe and actually leaving a legacy behind, helping people out, paying it forward, leaving this place better than you found it? Okay? You got to be brave. You got to think big. And that's a whole different context, right? What is big to you? That's an individual thought. Nobody's going to tell you what that is. But one thing that I can tell you is that you have to be brave with your vision. If you have a desire, sometimes it can be bottled up and you can be, intimidated by it. No, I am not, why would I be thinking that big? I can't do that. I don't have the skill set. I don't have the capacity. I don't have the money. I don't have the network. I don't have the know-how or whatever. There's so many different things that are going to come across that are going to keep you from taking that step forward and from being brave. You have to be brave to craft your vision. If not, you're half-assing it. That's really what it is. All right. The old adage, right? Aim for the moon, you'll end up in the sky, or aim for the stars and you'll end up in the moon. It's the same thing, right? You're going to create this vision. If you don't make it all the way to 100, right? You're going to, get stopped at 75, but that 75 is somebody else's, 500%, because you were brave. So be brave about the stuff that you want to manifest. Be brave about the goals that you want to achieve. If you have that sense of nervousness, when you're talking about the stuff that you want, when you're talking about your vision, if there's a tickle in the belly, it means that you're taking it seriously. It means that there's a degree of belief there for you to explode, to tap into, to make it bigger and make it better. All right, so be brave. Now ask yourself, this is a pragmatic approach, right? In terms of vision, and I'll keep it business related, but you can take this and then just do it anywhere in life. in relationships, you can do it in fitness, you can do it in health, whatever, money. So what do you want your business to look like? And then give yourself a time frame of 3 years. In 3 years, what do you want your business to look like? Where are you operating out of? Do you have an office? How many products do you have in place? What does it look like? What kind of market? How many people are you actually serving? What problem are you solving? What does it look like? What does it smell like when you walk into the office? What is the vibe? What are people saying about your business? That's important, all right? And not that I want you to be concerned with what the world says about our goals and dreams and achievements, but it starts to create a picture in your head of how you want to craft the future that you want. And then you backtrack from that and you get steps. So what are people saying? Are you, I don't know, I mean, for example, are you top 40 under 40 type of deal? Are you aiming that big? Do you want to have a TED Talk? Do you want to do, be an influence in your community and actually make a stand for something else? Think bigger, think brave, right? What are people saying? What is your team saying about your business? Is your team happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing with you? Is the team growing itself? Did you go from, I don't know, 1 employee to 10? Within a matter of 3 years? Do you go from 10 employees to 100? What does it look like? Start crafting that vision, and we're going to be putting together a mental picture of what we have. Mental pictures are important. Yeah, I do believe in vision boards and all that stuff, but mental pictures have an element of energy to them. They have an element of emotion to them. When you're putting together that picture in your head and you close your eyes, it doesn't matter where you're at. You can be in a shitty office sitting and waiting on the lobby for something, whatnot. You close your eyes, you're there. Boom. You're automatically there. Your emotions are there, right? When you create this mental picture. Think about a really good memory that you have, I don't know, from last year or from growing up, right? When you go back to that memory, it's called an engram, but when you go back to that engram, you feel the emotion that you were feeling. You can almost smell the environment from that memory. So we're creating this mental picture that's going to give us the same psychological result, right? What does your business look like in terms of revenue? How much money are you generating? What are your net profits? Net's important, not gross revenue. There's a lot of overhead and stuff like that. Look at the net profit. What about your time? How much time are you actually investing in your business? In how much time are you investing in the life that you want to live, right? Where do you live? Where do you live? Are you in a nice new home? Are you in the same spot? Did you move? Did you stay? What does that look? Start asking yourself inquisitive questions. What about your lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle do you have? Are you helping people out? Are you being a contribution to the world? Or, what does your personal lifestyle look like? So we start putting all these together to create this mental picture. When you have the mental picture of what you want, when you have the mental picture of your vision, and you sit down to meditate, it's a completely different experience, right? It takes you places. You wake up and it's not dreaming because you're backing all that stuff with action, okay? Once you have the picture of what you want, when you have the clarity over this picture that you just created, this mental engram, and you sit down to meditate, the experience is totally different, right? The experience is attached to emotion. It's attached to aspirations. It's attached to a dream now that you can actually, feel, okay? The word feel here is powerful. Now, all of this has to be backed by action, okay? I'm giving you a time frame of 3 years so you can start to reverse engineer the actions that you need to put in place, all right? The actions that you need to put in place. Otherwise, it's just like a little mental vacation, that's all. But that's not what we want. It's not the purpose of this. The purpose of creating a vision is to have it pull you in that direction, even when you don't feel like doing the things that you need to be doing. It's got to be backed by action, and you have to bring it to life through that mental picture that you're solidifying. All right? Create a vision, have it pull you towards your desired outcome, and live a great life. That's what we're here for. We got one shot at it. Be brave. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, you like and you share. Drop a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let's have a conversation. This is a two-way street, all right? Love you. See you soon. Stay focused. You got this.